Hello and welcome to this News 9 special. The murder of a 5-year-old girl in Kerala has opened a political hornet's nest in Kerala. Questions are being raised on the checking of the number of guest workers in the state after the murder. The girl was abducted by Ashfaq on Friday at 3 p.m. The accused Ashfaq took the child to the local market. Some of the locals did question him, but he claimed that the girl was his daughter. Later, he took the child to a secluded place and murdered her. Opposition leaders in Kerala have raised this issue against the government, and especially the leader of the opposition in the Kerala Assembly of the Congress, we have V.D. Sudhishan, bringing the matter to the fore. He has in fact said that the government did not give the adequate police cover as required to search for the child. He questioned the number of policemen deployed for the search and compared it to the extensive security measures for the chief minister. Sudhishan further accused the government of failing to control the use of drugs and alcohol in the state. The accused was found in an inebriated state when he was taken into custody by the police. Well, to discuss more about this, we are joined in by Advocate Sarath Krishnan, a lawyer and former faculty of Law National Law University in Jodhpur. We have Jisha Surya, my colleague, who is joining us from Kerala. We have Father Edward Thomas, child rights activist, who also joins us in this debate. So let me first go to Jisha Surya, our colleague. Jisha, this murder has gone, in fact, beyond the issue about the atrocity on the child. The question being asked is the government in Kerala aware of the number of guest workers who are there? Official kind of data that is floating around, say around 34 lakh guest workers are present in Kerala, but of that only 1/3 of the guest workers data is what is available for a particular insurance scheme, and that is the only numbers that the government has when it comes to guest workers. But there are a lot of guest workers in Kerala. If 34 lakh is the kind of numbers that we are looking at, and interestingly enough, I came through a statistics that 159 guest workers have been booked in 118 murder cases. So guest workers, as Kerala calls it, well, it turns out to be that politically it's turning out to be a nightmare for the CPM to defend right now.
Absolutely. The number of guest workers, the government lacks the data on the number of guest workers in the state. We know that official data says that it's only around 5 lakh, but the various institutions like Gulati Institute have studied, and it says that it might be between 25 to 35 lakh. And that is also a report that came before the COVID period. So it might be more than that. So the official lack of official data, and also the mechanism to check their criminal background or proper ID identification. These are the major questions that are being raised now in the background of this crime. So we know that a lot of similar crimes have happened with migrant workers, like you mentioned. The numbers are around 150, where the people are involved only in murder cases. So some of the recent murder cases are fresh in our mind, like 2016 Jisha murder case, or the last year there was a murder case involving Tamil Nadu migrant laborer who murdered a woman in Thiruvananthapuram. So these are heinous crimes. So such questions are being raised on whether we have any provisions to check the criminal background of these people, or we have a complete data of these people. There are even reports that it's not just Indians. There are people from Myanmar and Bangladesh that are coming to Kerala. So we don't have a proper mechanism to check this. That's a big question that is being raised now.
I have a set of shocking statistics, but I think I'll come to that part of the discussion later on. Let's in fact focus with the guest workers. And in fact, to our viewers, I would actually say that the talk would, after some time, would shift on the kind of atrocities that are put against children in Kerala. Well, let me get an advocate, Sharath, into the debate as of now. Sarath Krishnan, who joins us, who is also a lawyer and former faculty of Law National Law University in Jodhpur. So, Sharath, the question that I have is, when it comes to Kerala, it's got an interesting demography in the sense that a lot of blue-collar jobs have now been taken over what we would call migrants, but you can't call them migrants. They are Indians from different part of the state. They are coming in, they are settling in because two to three things are evident in them. One is the high wage that is present compared to other states. So they find it very much this thing, and also the labor-friendly policies that are there in the state. So most of them have been actually settling down also. Before it was, them coming in, but a lot of people have started to settle down also. But when it comes to the numbers, the kind of authentication that is required, not to put out on certain constitutional rights saying that an Indian can go ahead and settle anywhere in this country and build his business, or not to venture into that part. But do you think, like how the opposition is arguing, there should be some kind of scrutiny, should be there when it comes to the laborers coming into the state? Because the kind of crime statistics, when it's associated with the guest workers, in the last 5 years, the cases have crossed around 3,000. This is including a series of crimes that have been committed. It's almost 3,000 in the last 5 years. And only during the COVID period of 2020 did you see a slump to 484, 2020 to 2021. But before that, it was constantly rising among guest workers. So, do you think there should be some kind of scrutiny as this, or just because this incident has put focus on them that we are overreacting to it?
Yes, of course. There should be foolproof scrutiny in this aspect. There is no doubt at all. But at the same time, I think we should not subscribe to the popular narrative which is being spread now, that this is a case of criminality emerging out of illegal migration. I don't think so. This is a clear case of drug abuse, I guess. And of course, Kerala is the most migrant-friendly state, especially in the case of wages and all. And I don't think that there is any dearth of welfare mechanism, because we have already took initiatives for the insurance schemes like health insurance schemes like Awas, and we have taken initiative for
but then the government is saying, Sharathkumar, the government is saying that when it comes to the data, one data says there are 34 lakhs, and then you have only 1/3 of the guest workers under the scheme. So what data do you actually have?
Yes, that I do agree with that. I do agree. There is a problem with regard to that database, because we are following the 1979 legislation, that is in the State Migrant Workers Act. As per the provisions of that legislation, it is made mandatory if there is 5 or more people who are working under a particular contractor. So that's also a problem. Now, then I think the government is taking initiative to make a legislation so as to ensure the registration of each and every migrant worker. And another aspect which is being discussed, that government is thinking about getting a police clearance certificate from the home state of the migrant labor. That would be a very, I think, it would be very helpful so as to avoid these types of issues regarding the data requirements.
Well, let me get Father Edward into this. Father, I mean, from a state like Kerala, where we in fact talk about being one of the best places for migrant laborers, or I mean guest workers as we can't call them migrants because they're Indians coming to another part of the country, so we can't subscribe to them. But of late in Kerala, one of the issues that we have seen is that there is some kind of tension building between migrant laborers as well as the local population as well. Especially there have been cases, especially during some of the incidents where petty theft has been reported. Also, there have been overreactive steps that have been taken by the locals as well. But the migration of blue collar jobs, especially to the people who are coming from outside the state, has been going on. First, we had a lot of people coming in from Tamil Nadu. That has in fact stopped. Then you have people coming in from Bengal and from Bihar now. What is it that we have a huge dearth of when it comes to blue collar jobs in Kerala? Is that what is driving this huge so-called migration into Kerala?
Yeah, actually, if you look at demography of Kerala, there are a lot of people, young people are moving out from Kerala for these blue collar jobs outside the state and outside the country. And there's a huge dearth of workers in Kerala, and from north, a lot of people are coming in. And in a way, actually, these are one of the most proactive government, with regard to the migrant laborers. And we also have a lot of organizations also working for them. I know an organization like Don Bosco has got a help desk in every district with regard to this. Now, I think it's a welcome move, and as we have seen, these workers who are coming from outside has contributed a lot to the state. But at the same time, this particular incident which has happened, and incidents that is happening, we should really take care of them. And really condolences to the family that was really suffering right now. Now, with regard to the registration, we have a good mechanism with regard to the children, especially where the children are children are residing in CCI, child care institutions, or also the schools. A good background check is being done. But with a large population of this sort, getting background checkup, every person is going to be difficult. And you must be also seeing that they are not regularly working in a firm to be registered under a firm. We have seen places where, migrant workers are remaining just on the roadside so that they may be picked up by some company or group to take them. But at the same time, I think we need to be a little bit of cautious, but this should not be taken as like a political, agenda like happening across the country where migrants, laborers or people coming from outside are going to be dangerous. I think that move should not be there. But at the same time, sufficient precautions to be taken, that we need to discuss how to take precautions rather than, is migrant laborers or the people from outside versus those who are inside. Those discussions are right now, it's not applicable.